And welcome everyone to another episode of the Watercooler Edit with me, Iman and Rich.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Yeah, it's good to be back.
Yes, it
It's good
is.
to and good to have you back in the host chair as well.
Yes, yes, it
Woohoo!
is. So obviously, if you haven't already guessed by my outfit, we are going to be discussing things about the new year. It could be the places that we want to go, a little bit about the property market in the UAE itself, and also our personal resolutions. So, as I mentioned, we are going to be discussing a little bit about the property market in the UAE. Richard,
Yes.
when now when we talk about property in the UAE and we add 2024 to the mix,
hmm
obviously it's going to be projects that have either been announced
Yep.
or are going to be handed over within that year.
hmm
Is there any project that you are very excited for?
Look, I mean, there's a lot to choose from,
There's a
right?
lot to choose
I
from.
mean, there's projects all over the place, handing over, potentially handing over in
Yes.
2024. Some whoppers have been announced. If I had to pick one, I can't. I'm going to go with two.
Okay,
Right?
cool.
The first one I'll go with is the Jumeirah Marsa Hotel and
Okay,
Residences.
nice.
Right. I'm going with that because, look, I know it might not seem like the most exciting off.
I think it is. It is quite exciting. A lot of people are waiting for it to launch. A lot of people are waiting to see what it's going to add because, again, it's on that Jumeirah side, right?
That's the deal.
Essentially, Sakem, but it's a very prominent address
hmm
and a lot of iconic restaurants and hotels and locations are there. So to actually have new property come into that side of town,
Yeah,
it's a
it's
big
it's
deal.
an event, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree, and I think I like the idea of it being the third part of a trilogy,
Yes,
right?
another nautical theme to Burj
So
Al
you,
Arab and
the
again
JBH,
JBH. Yeah.
and this is the third in the
Yeah.
trilogy. It's super yacht inspired,
Yes.
um, so the nautical theme
Yeah.
continues.
It continues.
So I'm kind of excited for that, right? I think that's
Mm.
a big deal. I think we're expecting Q4 2024 for that.
Yep.
I think it was changed recently. There
Mm.
was a hope it might be earlier than that, but
Yeah.
Q4 2024. So I bet a penthouse sold in there a while back for an absolute
Ridiculous
yeah, an
amount. Yeah, yeah,
insane amount of money. I
man.
can't remember
Yeah.
exactly how much it was, but let's just say it was a lot.
It was a lot, yeah. And the thing is, it's one of those developments that has a mix of things, right? So obviously there's going to be the hotel aspect, then
hmm
there are residences attached to it, like these exclusive penthouses. You're going to be having restaurants, you're going to be having obviously fitness and spa facilities, all of that sort of stuff. So it's
Yeah.
kind of tied together in one development.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
going to have, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I'm not sure if they've announced the restaurants yet, but you're going to have, there's going to be
There's
Michelin star
for
restaurants,
sure.
well, Michelin star chef restaurants,
Yes, yes.
and potentially Michelin star restaurants in there, you know?
Yeah, yeah, agree.
So, no, I'm looking forward to that. That's my first one. My second one I'll go with is the Mina Al Arab Anatara Resort
Yes.
in Ras Al Khaimah.
Nice.
I've been waiting a while for this one, right? Because this is the kind of big selling point
Mm.
is that it's like the Maldives in the UAE,
Yes.
right? Because it's got the old overwater villas.
Mini islands, that whole sort of Maldivian inspired sort of architecture, and even just
Maldivian, I
the
love that. What a fantastic
lifestyle.
word that is, Maldivian. I love it. Yeah, it is. It's completely
Yeah.
inspired, and I don't. You've obviously seen some images. I've seen some images, and it is. It's pretty. I mean,
Nice.
it looks very, very nice, and so I'm really keen to see what they've done with that. I
Mm.
think Anatara Resorts in general
Yes, yeah.
are pretty special.
Very high caliber, right? Like the
Yeah,
quality level there is insane. And the thing is, let's speak about this when it's actually launched, Richard, and we'll have you go because you've actually been to the Maldives. I sadly have not yet.
yes.
It's pretty up there on my list. It's just that
You need to rectify that situation. That's it. You're gonna get. That's got to be like bucket list.
yeah,
But
because the thing is, I've always thought it's a I think actually there's a stereotype that Maldives is perfect as a honeymoon or a couple destination.
yeah,
I think you could go there with friends and family
you
as well.
completely can.
Yeah.
You completely can. When we went this year, it's my first time
Mm.
there. Finally achieving like a life's ambition, and I'm definitely going back. Um, there was loads of it. It wasn't just
Nice.
couples, right?
Yeah.
There was families. There was just
So
groups of
then,
friends. There
yep.
was people there on like like a
Yeah,
hen
yeah, yeah.
weekend and
Okay.
stuff before one of the girls is getting
Yes.
married and all that kind of stuff. And it was
Nice.
yeah, so a completely
Mm.
eclectic mix relationship wise.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like just
Yeah.
couples, but I
So
know exactly what you mean. It
yeah.
does have that kind of
Kind of
reputation.
situation, yeah. So at least one, I will not hold off on that. And two, if I'm not able to go to the Maldives, I can definitely check out the Anantara resort
Yeah, you
before
can.
I go ahead with
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. It's a lot closer.
Yes, it's a lot closer.
Yeah,
It's just in Rock. It's like what, a 2 hour drive max.
yeah, max, I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, you probably do it in less than that actually. So, and I'm quite fond of Rack anyway, and there's
Yes.
so much
Then you
going
can
on
do that.
down
Yep.
there.
Yep.
Where we could get if we said we could do a podcast just dedicated to the new projects in coming
Yeah,
up in Rack,
Russell
right?
Tema. Yeah, yeah,
So
100%.
maybe we'll do that in the new year, right?
Yeah,
Maybe we're doing,
definitely.
yeah.
We can do that.
How about
But
you? How about
yes,
you? Hit me with it.
I have chosen one project,
Hmm.
and I think the name itself is also interesting. So the project that I'm really anticipating to launch is called One Zabil. So
Right.
again, this is that mega project down by like the Trade Center roundabout area. I drive past it every single day. And recently they've started testing the lights as well. So for National Day, they had put up like a lot of National Day themed lights and things like that. And
Okay.
I was like, oh, I think it's ready. I was like, I think it's almost close to
How
being
long have they?
launched.
How long's it been building? Like how
They've
long?
been building for quite a few years
Yeah.
now. So it's supposed to launch at the end of this year. I think it'll most likely launch beginning of 2024.
Okay.
So it's a twin tower complex. Again, mega project. The one and only is going to have a resort there.
Oh,
There's going
really?
to be residences. There's going to be hotel apartments. There's going to be a studio hotel as well.
Yeah.
On top of that, it is an iconic building because it's located kind of in the midst of the Burdubai area and then Sheikh Zayed as well, right? So prime real estate right next to Zabil Park.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to all of this, it's home to the world's longest cantilever. So if you've seen this building,
What the
it's
world's longest what?
cantilever. So it's basically like a podium level that they've elevated about 100 floors.
Oh, wow.
100 feet, something like that. It's massive. So it's two towers, and then they have the podium in the middle.
Okay.
It actually looks very scary. Um, like in the sense that from the outside, I don't understand. Like the architects have done an amazing job on actually stabilizing that build.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a.
Is this going to be one of those places where they have the
I
like the
hope I don't know if they
seafood
will have
the
the see
seafood
through.
glass,
I don't know if they will have
like
the
at
see through
the
glass
frame, the
at the
Dubai frame,
frame.
if you've been
Yeah.
up there, which is the weirdest thing
Um.
ever because like you go to step on it and
Yes.
there's like these kind of these primal instincts kick in
Yes.
you that it's like
Yeah.
I
It's
can't do
like
it. I can't do it.
yeah. I'm okay with those. I've done that.
I did do it, but I did it tentatively.
So that's going to be really interesting.
That's
Again,
really
another
cool.
world record right there, right?
Mm,
So that's another building that kind of adds on to Dubai's unique skyline. So enough about property now. We'll come
mhm.
back to it at the end. Uh,
Yes, that we will.
that we will. But speaking of, I think, iconic addresses in the UAE,
Hmm.
is there some kind of activity or destination or place that you'd want to go, Richard, that you haven't gone yet?
Okay, so I've remembered what my second one was. I know I'm supposed to be having one for this. I keep breaking the rules. Sorry, guys, but like, so I was going to have one, but then
Mm.
there was another one I was thinking about, then I kind of forgot about it and all that. But I'm back, right? I'm back with it. So my first one is slightly odd one, I would say, but I like my kind of abandoned stuff, right? Stuff
Yes.
that
Okay. Spooky. Very
yeah,
spooky.
like kind of villages that
Mm.
have been abandoned back in the day. So recently on the blog, we wrote a piece about the village in Ras Al
Yes.
Khaimah.
Jazeera Al Hamra.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which was a pearling village up until the late 1960s, and then basically deserted because people moved elsewhere. It's still there. It's still it's derelict, and obviously it's got some wear and tear, but it's quite big apparently as
Yes.
well. And early in the new year, I think they're going to have a art exhibition there.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so with the pieces of art will be within the buildings and stuff like that. So
Okay.
I mean,
So
I
less
think
spooky. More
yeah,
cultural.
yeah.
Nice.
Spooky plus
Cultural.
cultural. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And my second one is very, very different. This is the
Is it more Dubai?
it is very much so. Yeah, it's the Address Beach Resort, which is the
Mm.
one down by Marina
Yes,
and
JBR. Yeah.
JBR, and they've got that infinity pool
Yes.
at the top. Now, it
Okay.
was, I think, the world's highest. I don't know if it's been overtaken now because previously it was the one in Singapore, but I think
Hmm.
this overtook that. But maybe this one's been overtaken. I don't know. But whatever way, it's a very high infinity pool.
Hmm. Now, moving on to my sort of itinerary of things left to experience in the UAE. The place that I actually want to go to is a moving place. I want to go on a cruise that
Woohoo.
departs from Dubai or Abu Dhabi,
Hmm.
and kind of goes around different countries, ideally within the GCC. If I have time,
Yeah.
maybe we'd actually take that cruise liner maybe to Europe or somewhere else.
Wow.
But essentially, yeah, the goal is to go on a cruise liner from Dubai or Abu Dhabi and see how that whole experience is, have that whole onboard journey.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
again, you get to experience the city from a different sort of point of view, right? Because again, you're at sea and you're kind of going around all of the different landmarks and things like that. So I think that would be very nice.
That would be fantastic. What countries would that take in then? Like
Yeah, so there are certain options. You can go to like Italy or you can go to Malta, you can go to other countries
the
like that,
GCC
Greece.
one. So
For the GCC ones, it's generally Oman, Qatar, Saudi. So
nice.
it's a nice little trip around. And
Yeah,
yeah, if I had to choose
yeah.
a local option, um, I have not been to Alen in a long time. So we used to go a lot when I was younger,
Hmm.
and I would love going to the hot springs. They've recently redeveloped that whole. Well, I say recently. For me, it's been recently, but
Yeah,
for
yeah.
over the last couple of years, they have redeveloped that whole area, and I think that would be interesting to see because again, Alen is like a whole oasis
Yep.
outside of the UAE. It's so green. There are so many like nature
Literally an
inspired. Yes,
oasis. Yeah,
literally
yeah.
an oasis. There are so many like nature inspired things there, and the landscape is also gorgeous. It's a small town, but I would like to go back there.
Nice. Yeah, I'm with you on that one actually. I haven't been to our lane probably in about well, 5 or 6 years
Hmm.
now. And even since in that time, a lot of stuff has happened
Yes,
down there. A lot
yes.
has opened, but I don't think it will ever lose its charm in
Yeah,
the way of
exactly.
its. Yeah, you know,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
it's a lovely place, and it's somewhere that I haven't visited as much as I feel like I
Hmm.
should have done.
Hmm.
So I'm with you on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
road trip time. We
mm,
will maybe do the podcast from Alen one day.
that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Be from the hot springs themselves.
Yes, that would be fun.
Cool. I'm liking
Yeah.
your choices. Good stuff.
Yes, I like my choices too. I like yours as well, Richard. It's
Yeah, mine are
interesting.
better, but no, they're not. Yours are way better, way better. I'm just
This
joking.
is not a competition at
No,
all.
this is true. This is true.
What instead will be a competition is, I think, one, our New Year's resolution and how we will be able to stick to it.
Yes, this
Yes.
is a good point.
So yeah, so for me, for my New Year's resolution, one, it's not something that I actively do, because I feel like you should be doing this throughout. But if I had to choose one sort of personal goal of mine that I want to fulfill, again, I'm going big. It is a New Year's resolution.
Mm-hmm.
I want to buy a house,
Woohoo!
buy my house. Now, this New Year's resolution, considering the property market and how it's been going crazy, I think is going to be my New Year's resolution for maybe 6 to 8 years.
So this New Year's resolution comes with caveats,
Yes.
and one of those caveats being can be carried over.
Yes.
Yes.
So I think maybe my New Year's resolution would be to maybe save up 15% of that buying a house goal.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to
Be
break it
the
down.
down
Yeah,
payment type.
for the
Yeah.
down payment, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So it's something that I think if it's not on your radar, it's worth having on your
Having, yes.
radar just to have an idea, be feasible.
Feasible for you or
Yeah.
not, yeah.
And
And
always keep an eye on the market. And we know where you can always keep an eye on the market.
yes, and you should always use tools like the buy transactions. Shameless plug here.
Yeah, it is a shameless
Because,
bug, but
but you know what?
it's valid.
Yes,
It's valid.
and it's a very effective tool. You can actually see what the
Mm.
rental history has been like for a specific unit, a specific area. You
Mhm.
can take a look at the sales trends if you're looking to buy as well. So you can kind of compare, okay, fine, if rents were kind of increasing or decreasing this way, does the sales price kind of match up? And what are the sort of trends in that area for you to understand in the future as well, if you're looking to buy?
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
look, this is people going to say like a guy works for Bayut and he's talking he's bigging up a Bayut product, but genuinely
Hmm.
I think it is a really
Useful.
useful tool, right? Because
Agree.
um, the data we should say as well, the data is sourced directly from
From the,
Dubai Land
yes.
Department, right?
Yeah.
So this is all is 100% accurate on the now, right? So you can see, I mean, like for example, the apartment community that I live in, I can see the recent transactions that have taken
Hmm.
place. So I can see how much people are paying for one beds, two
Two
beds,
beds.
buying and
Hmm.
and renting
Renting.
and stuff. That kind of
It makes it
insight.
easy,
Yeah,
right, for you to
yeah,
understand.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, completely. So I it's a valuable tool.
Yes,
It
yes, it
is.
is. So yeah, if you are like Richard or I, definitely do make use of that.
Hmm.
But yeah, what is your actual New Year's resolution,
My New
Richard?
Year's resolution, right? Okay, so for our long-term listeners, stroke
Mm.
watchers, hello, that one person. Last year, I said that I want one of my New Year's resolutions was I wanted to learn Orabesh, which is the. This is
Yes.
so geeky. I apologise in advance, but I am a geek. So what can you do?
Hmm.
You know, I just need to wear it. Really, I'm a
Yeah.
geek.
Yeah.
So Orabesh is the language in Star Wars. It's a written language.
Hmm.
If you'll see it, if you watch the shows or the movies, you'll see it all over the place,
Okay.
right? And that was my one of my New Year's resolutions coming into this year, and I was doing all right. I was about 7 or 8 letters in,
Okay.
around about kind of May time, June
Okay.
time.
Okay. Not bad.
Because I was playing a video game as well, a Star Wars video game, which had the Orabesh in it. So I was even
Okay.
recognizing
Okay.
the letters, getting some words and all that. It was all going very well.
Hmm.
And then I dropped it like a stone. I don't know. Like, other things started happening in my life.
Hmm.
Things got busy, and maybe I started playing other video games. Who knows? Yeah, but it just
With
dropped
no
it.
Arabesh, is that the right way to say
So
it?
Orabesh.
Arabesh.
Orabesh. So it's Aurebesh.
Arabesh.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. How
Uh,
many letters are there in this Arabesh language?
Same as that. So basically, it's every letter in our alphabet has an equivalent.
In
It's
Arabesh.
like a sign. It's like a
Okay.
little sign. So basically, it's 26, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's 20. There's a few little bits of grammar and stuff as well.
Hmm. Okay.
But yeah, so I was on my way, but then it dropped off my radar. So I need to get back on that. So yeah, I'm gonna by the end of 2024, I'm gonna be fluent in Orabesh, which will do me absolutely no good whatsoever. Happy New Year to you.
Yes, Happy New Year to you as well, Richard, and to everybody that is watching online.
Absolutely.
If you have any questions or feedback or anything else that you want to share, maybe you want to share your New Year's resolutions with us, please do so in the comments. And if you want any more information about anything that we've mentioned, so if it's anything to do with living in the UAE, you can definitely find that on mybayut. So that's bayut.com/mybayut. If you're interested in learning more about the property market and about pricing trends, definitely check out the buy transactions, which is Bayut's market intelligence sort of section. And yeah, that's basically it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Cheers, guys.